Hello learners, my name is Karishma Naik, Assistant Professor from Ganpat Pasikar College of Education. I welcome you for this course. The name of my course is Apiculture and the name of my module is Morphology and Behavior of Honeybees. In this module, we are going to study social organization, honeybee behavior. In that, there are swarming, mating behavior, brood care, foraging behavior, stinging behavior, communication behavior, and at the end we are going to see references. Now let's talk about the social organization in bees. Honeybees are highly social insects and live in a well-organized colony. The hives have different castes which perform different duties. Different castes are dependent on one another and bees work for the benefit of the colony as a whole. A normal colony of honeybees is composed of a queen, a few hundred drones and thousands of worker bees. Now let's talk about the honeybee behavior. Honeybee behavior is a phenomenon that is exhibited by the honeybees in the course of their regular activities in their colony. Some are dependent on external stimuli, whereas others are genetically influenced. Now in this behavior, the first one is swarming. The phenomenon of leaving of colony by the queen and other members of the colony is known as swarming. Increase in bee population causes overcrowding in the hive. Thus, the worker bees rear additional queens in preparation to divide and develop other colony. Honeybees usually swarm after flowering seasons. A swarm consists of a queen, a large number of worker bees, and a few drones. The next behavior is mating behavior. Queen bee may mate with one or many drones during its mating flight, and further it may even make multiple mating flights before it starts laying eggs. For mating, queen bee flies out of the hive and flies very fast with several drones following it and mating occur in air. The sex organs of the drone get detached inside the queen bee during mating and the drone dies. The following drone removes the broken sex organ of the previous drone before mating. Queen bee returns with the sex organ, which is a mating sign of the last drone, which is removed by the worker bees of the colony. The next one is brood care. Here the nurse bee, which is a worker bee of age 3 to 13 days. It looks after the larval brood in feeding them. Queen bee larva feeds on royal jelly for about 1600 times during a larval period. After the 5 days period, a total of 17 hours are spent on feeding queen bee larva. It does remain floating on the bed of royal jelly. Worker bee larva, on the contrary, is progressively fed and is given fewer feedings. For the first 3 days of life, the worker larva is fed on royal jelly, but during the next 2 days, the thinner type of a royal jelly mixed with pollen and nectar is fed by younger nurse bees, which are 3 to 6 days old. Drone larva is also fed by the nurse bees near to this later kind of a diet. Adult drones, which are after 14 days of age, and worker bees immediately after emergence start feeding at their own, whereas the adult queen bee is fed on royal jelly by the worker bees throughout its life. In-house bees also regulate the brood nest temperature during winter by converging and covering the brood and producing metabolic heat, and during summer by expanding and fanning with wings. Brood is also protected from various diseases by quicker removal of the infected or dead brood from the colony to prevent further spread of the healthy brood. Drone larva is also fed by the nurse bees near to this later kind of a diet. Adult drone, which is after 14 days of age, and worker bees just immediately after emergence start feeding at their own, whereas the adult queen bee is fed on royal jelly by the worker bees throughout its life. In-house, bees also regulate the brood nest temperature during winter by converging and covering the brood and producing metabolic heat, and during summer by expanding and fanning with wings. Brood is also protected from various diseases by quicker removal of the infected or dead brood from the colony to prevent further spread to the healthy brood. Now let's talk about the foraging behavior. Foraging bees collect nectar and pollen from flowers as their food. Besides, bees also forage for propolis and water. While foraging, bees collect nectar by inserting their tongue, which is also known as a proboscis, in between petals from the side without touching the reproductive parts of the flower. Top workers are thus better pollinators. Foraging intensity, which is number of bees visiting per unit area and per unit time on the flowers, is higher during the peak time of nectar or pollen availability. Honeybees also exhibit floral fidelity or floral constancy. Floral fidelity means that the foragers will keep on visiting the flowers of a particular crop, foraging either for nectar or for pollen or for both, till the particular kind of flowers remain available. This kind of a behavior makes them more dependable pollinators. Next behavior is stinging behavior. On realizing any threat, worker bees sting its enemy by bending its abdomen through petiole. On stinging, it loses its sting left broken inside the stung organism and the bee dies soon. While stinging, it also releases a chemical known as alarm pheromone, marking the enemy and indicating to the other bees a potential threat to them. So, the other bees come to attack the already stung animal at the same place. The immediate masking the effect of the alarming chemical can be achieved by immediate removal of the first sting followed by rubbing over the stung place. Giving a little smoke and opening a hive pacifies the bee's urge for stinging. Next behavior is a communication behavior. So various castes communicate among themselves by releasing specific chemicals known as pheromones. Distance of the food source from comb or hive is communicated through different dances. Scout bees on their return into the hive performs different kind of dances on the comb depending upon the distance of the food source from the hive. Other bees observe these dances and then proceed to that bee flora. Late Karl von Frisch, professor of zoology, University of Munich, Germany, interpreted the meaning of dance movements of honeybees. Now let's talk about the different types of dances which are seen in honeybees. The first one is round dance. If food is near the hive, that is less than 90 meters from hive, a scout bee of the species Apis mellifera performs the round dance. In a round dance, the forager bee turns in circles, first to the right and then to the left. Round dance intimates the recruited workers of hive that the source of food is less than 90 meters from hive but gives no indication of direction. Now this dance we can see in the given picture. Second one is waggle dance. If food is farther than 90 meters away, the scout bee performs waggle dance. It indicates both the direction and distance of the source discovered by the forager bees. Waggle dance might be performed on the walls of the hive or on horizontal surface at the entrance of the hive. The waggle dance is shaped in a figure of 8, looping first to left and then to right with wiggling of abdomen. Thus, a typical waggle dance consists of a middle or a straight run while the abdomen is waggled vigorously. Then the bee makes a semicircular turn and waggle in straight line again. Now this dance you can see in the given picture. The direction of the food source is indicated by the angle which a scout bee makes with the line of gravity during tail waggle dance. Dance with a straight run directed upwards on the comb indicates food direction towards the sun from the hive, and if the straight run of the tail waggle dance is directed downwards, it indicates that the food source is in opposite direction to that towards the sun from the hive. If the scout bee moves straight up during straight run of tail waggle dance without any angle with the gravity, it means food is exactly in the line towards the sun, while the bee moving straight down without any angle with the gravity indicates the food source just opposite to the direction of the sun. Any angle to the line of the gravity during the straight run of the dance means that the food source is at that angle with the line of hive to the sun's direction. Now let's talk about the third dance, alarm dance. This dance is mainly performed to indicate contaminated food source and to prepare for offense and defense. The bees run in spiral or irregular zigzag manner and vigorously shake their abdomens sideways. Their flight activities drop completely and the neighboring bees also start to respond. The fourth dance is tremble dance. Purpose is to inform other bees that a large load of nectar has arrived in the hive for processing. In this dance, the bee walks leisurely and wiggles its legs, causing its body to quiver and tremble. Next dance is shake dance. Purpose is to inform the house bees to help the foragers to collect nectar from a particularly rich source. In this dance, the forager bees shudder in front of one house bee at a time to notify up to 20 per minute. Sixth dance is joy dance. This dance is observed only when conditions in the hive are optimal. The bee places its front leg on some part of the body of the other bee and make 5 or 6 shaky movements up and down. It's done to celebrate the emergence of new queen. Seventh dance is cleaning dance. Particles of dust, hairs or other foreign materials on the worker bee body stimulate the cleaning dance. This consists of a rapid stamping of legs and a rhythmic swinging of the body to the sides. The mandibles are used to clean the thorax and the abdomen of the dancer. As soon as the dancer feels the touch of the cleaner, it stops dancing. Purpose of this dance is to ask another bee for a grooming. Now in this slide, you can see the references which are used for this module. Thank you.